Russian involvement in the Syrian conflict, which began in 2015, has had a significant factor in the outcome of the war. While Russia has been able to achieve some of its objectives in the conflict, there have also been several significant failures that have had a profound impact on the outcome of the war. Let's look at some of the biggest fails of Russian involvement in Syria. In February 2018, a group of Russian mercenaries known as the Wagner Group suffered a significant defeat at the hands of U.S. troops in Syria. The incident, which took place near the town of Deir ez-Zor, was a significant setback for the Russian military and highlighted the complex and multifaceted nature of the conflict in Syria. As we look at the events leading up to the defeat of Wagner Group and its significance in the context of the Syrian conflict, in February 2018, a group of Wagner Group mercenaries launched an attack on a U.S. military base near the town of Deir ez-Zor. The attack was repelled by U.S. troops who were able to call in an airstrike and artillery support to drive back the attackers. Hundreds died. The incident resulted in the deaths of, well, to say the least, several Wagner Group mercenaries and highlighted the growing tensions between Russia and the United States in Syria. The defeat of Wagner Group was a significant setback for the Russian military and highlighted the limitations of, well, just the Russian military, not private military companies in modern warfare. Wagner Group had been operating in Syria with little oversight or accountability, and its defeat at the hands of U.S. troops demonstrated the risks associated with using private military companies in conflict zones. The incident also highlighted the complex and multifaceted nature of the conflict in Syria. The involvement of multiple actors, including the Syrian government, rebel groups, and foreign powers, have made the Syrian conflict difficult to resolve. The defeat of Wagner Group demonstrated the challenges associated with achieving a lasting peace in the region and the risks associated with the involvement of foreign powers in the conflict. One of the biggest fails of Russian involvement in Syria has been the failure to achieve a political solution to the conflict. Despite Russia's military intervention in the conflict, the war in Syria has continued and a political solution to the conflict has remained elusive. Russia has been unable to broker a lasting ceasefire or to bring the warring parties to the negotiating table, which has contributed to the ongoing violence and instability in the region. Another significant failure of Russian involvement in Syria has been the impact of its military intervention on the civilian population. Russia's military campaign in Syria has resulted in the deaths of thousands of civilians and has caused widespread destruction in the region. Russia has been accused of targeting civilian areas and using indiscriminate weapons such as cluster bombs that have caused significant harm to the civilian population. The failure of Russia to address the humanitarian crisis in Syria has also been a significant factor in this conflict. The war in Syria has resulted in the displacement of millions of people, many of whom have been forced to flee their homes and seek refuge in neighboring countries. However, Russia has been slow to provide humanitarian assistance to these refugees, leaving them vulnerable to exploitation and abuse. In conclusion, Russian involvement in the Syrian conflict has been a complex and multifaceted failure that has many failures. Some of the biggest fails of Russian involvement in Syria include the failure to achieve a political solution to the conflict, the impact of its military intervention on the civilian population, the failure to address the humanitarian crisis in the region, and getting their asses whooped by a bunch of little 18-year-old infantry kids. These failures have had a profound impact on the outcome of the war and serve as a reminder of the importance of addressing the underlying issues that contribute to conflict and instability. If you like this shit, please click like, share it with someone who might like it, please subscribe, and then comment I subscribe with a topic suggestion. Thank you. Have a great day.